It is an easy cut against Boros because you can just straight board out like the Gran-Grans for Wrath the Skies and Spell Snare and stuff. I'll be registering the last RCQ tomorrow and and I did trophy with Gran-Gran the other day. So it's got some amount of game experience. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but here we are. We'll be registering the last RCQ tomorrow and thinking about the final list. You now have a lot more experience with Goryos, so would you go with 4 Philagi? What's been the best list for you? I think my favorite list so far has been like a Philagi Riddler hybrid list. So like 2 Philagi, 3 Riddler. I find when I go all the way in on Philagi, I whiff a lot, but having it there to potentially high roll has been kind of nice. That's kind of the spot Gran-Gran's in now. Just okay. Round 1, we're on the play. I have a hard time throwing back Thoughtseize plus Solitude scam, right? Hard time throwing back Thoughtseize plus Solitude scam, right? What of these things are we taking? Probably just want to take a Swift Spear, right? The hope being that they just lead on a Dragon's Rage Channeler this turn. And then next turn goes Swift Spear. And I can Ephemerate Solitude. It like 2 of them untap, blink Solitude again, hit the 3rd. Just don't hit a second land. Okay. We take that too. Off of Ding. You win yet? Well, it's round 1, so not yet. Look, it's the thing. I feel reasonable about my chances here, though. So there's that. Let's this can get Hallowed Fountain still, so let's just Goryo's Atraxa. Didn't find an Ephemerate. We can just take another Goryo's. And so let's get what? Goryo's pending, white card for Solitude. Land is free. Do I just take a Traxa? I have flashback Faithful Mending. Lanes. Get on out of here. Go. I usually try not to say anything's ever in the bag, but reasonable chance. Reasonable chance. Cool. Okay. Prowess. Prowess, prowess, prowess. Wrath of the Skies, yes. Spell Snare, yes. Mystical Disputes. I didn't see blue. Mountain and all red cards. So I think I'm gonna leave the disputes in the sideboard till I see more. That Gristlebrand can come out. Grim on some grandmothers. Consign can come out. On the draw. I'd rather have Gran-Gran than Thoughtseize. Like this. I've been playing Dimir for a couple days and I learned what the worst matchup is. Traditional Burn. It wasn't close. I was buried. Yeah, traditional Burn, you have to like mull aggressively for exactly Psychic Frog and then just throw everything you possibly can into that frog. Do I want to pending this Swift Spear or do I want to get Gran-Gran down? Here. Like, the fact that they went ahead and played Mishra's Bauble makes me think they don't have a Quarry Steel Cutter in hand. This also cuts off, like, Quarry Steel plus mutagenic growth. I trimmed one Gran-Gran, but I could have trimmed more and not felt bad about it. In mirror matches, we go for the combo strategy or control strategy with frogs, riddlers, and counters. It's kind of hand dependent. I usually find myself leaning more towards like trying to combo because the interaction's not that great. It's like force negation, maybe surgical extraction. You don't have to be like too weary of getting stopped. But you also have to be smart about picking your window. So like understanding when you can get blown out versus when you don't need to play around getting blown out. Like, I think I recorded it, but I had a really, really good mirror match the other day where we just kind of like went back and forth, both threatening to combo. Like, we both had an unknown card or two in hand, weren't tapping off of our last 2 mana with like an Atraxa or something in the yard. And I think I did a really, really good job of playing like the control mid-range game to play around getting comboed, and eventually they tapped down to 1 mana, and I was like, cool, kill you. Because they couldn't Goryos in response to my Goryos. How's the deck guide going? 2,600 words on the Storm matchup, and I have got to cut that down quite a bit. What do you think about Chalice of the Void in the sideboard? Isn't it super good against a lot of meta decks? I feel like Chalice of the Void is mostly just good against stuff that you're already good against. Like any of the little red-based aggro decks or whatnot. I don't know how, like, super necessary it is. Not have the... out. Monastery Swiftspear. No attack. Okay. So a spot kind of like this, where opponent could have Spell Snare, they could have Surgical Extraction. I don't really, like, have to go for anything right now. How do I want to approach this? They've got 6 spells in hand. Fly the Frog and attack. Kind of looking for, like, a Force of Negation. Right. I guess. Maybe they'll go for a Surgical or something. Swiftspear. They, like, 100% have a Spell Snare, right? This is the most quintessential Spell Snare imaginable. It could be Pierce, but I don't know. I feel like by this point, you just kind of say Pierce isn't working. You try to kill me and hope I don't have a Goryos. Panda's coming in with the 8-month resub. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the subscribers. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you're having an awesome afternoon. Got Lava Dart, target the front. That is fine. Do I want to just ephemerate my frog, or do I want to save that? Kinda don't hate ephemerating the frog. Like, just giving myself more draws at second copy of Goryo's to play around Surgical. We don't know of Surgical, but they kept 7. They've missed land drops, so they've got, or no, they mulled to 6. Mulled to 6, they kept, or they missed land drop. They've been holding up 1, so I'm assuming they've got a spell snare or a spell pierce. But otherwise, not 100%. I think we're just going to go for the Goryos here. Happens. Feels like Surgical. Could have cast Goryos in response to Ephemerate Trigger. I could have, but I want to attack with the Atraxa here. If I get it back. Plus, I could draw something that changes that. Like, what if I draw Force of Negation and I just get to play around Surgical with that? Or I find second Goryos, I might just want to attack. Alright, so if you have Surgical, the only option is to cast Surgical and make me exile my own Atraxa, but... he's considering their options. Well, maybe if I just let it resolve, then, nothing. OP is already in the post-loss mindset, thinking, what could I have done better? But the game isn't finished. What you're doing is considering dropping from the challenge. Jeez. Getting roped. Usually roped would involve your opponent disconnecting. They haven't disconnected. Judge. Need a Magic Online hand raise button. I know everybody who's played tournament Magic has been at one of those points where you're sitting at a table playing the match and someone like directly besides you or calls for a judge, and it's just like 757 jet engine sounds going off in your ear, just like judge. You're like, holy fuck. Checking event prizes to see what's the loss of dropping now. Hearthstone use salty rope by just waiting the max time they allow each game. Well, Moto, you usually just disconnect and let your opponent wait the maximum amount of time for a game action before it auto loses you. Been on both sides of that interaction. Have you shouted judge just excessively into someone else's ear? That's how you should do it in a crowded place. There's a guy at my locals that does it even on FNMs. Everyone stops playing to look, but the fact is the judge insta appears. Like, I agree that you have to do it with a slight increase in auditory presence, but I think there's a difference between like a good stern call for a judge and like screaming it at the top of your lungs. Personally, I think screaming judge at non-comp REL is a bit much. So basically, any RCQ or I guess RCQ is comp REL, any FNM. Yeah, if you're screaming judge at an FNM, like, chill out. Oh, there's an ephemerate with the Wrath of the Skies, Solitude. Of a land drop for turn, so I can Wrath away these Swift Spears and attack. Stop, they're already dead. Sorry, Gran. Like to draw the cards. Like to cast the Wrath of the Skies for X equals 1. Ephemerate the Atraxa. Would like to take another Wrath of the Skies. Another life. Or I guess I have another. No, I don't need another Goryos. Faithful Mending. Under. Actually, no. We'll take Flooded Strand so I could get Breeding Pool to hard cast this other Atraxa. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to discard a card to a frog. Let's discard a Faithful Mending. And say go. We picked different types and had lethal. Well, I mean, we picked the maximum amount of types, right? And it still would have been 1 short because we drew 4 off of the Atraxa. I'm going to declare blockers. I appreciate going out on your own terms. Just like, oh, maybe he doesn't block. And I go lava dart, flashback lava dart, mutagenic growth, monstrous rage, flashback other lava dart. And he doesn't use the solitude plus white card in hand that he has shown me that he got off the Atraxa. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you, if you have two Atraxas in the yard and you splice Goryos, each Goryo's instance targeting a different Atraxa, then if they surgical one, assuming you got a frog, you could exile that one or like surgical your own Atraxa or whatever and get it out. But then you would have another copy targeting the other. Fine-ish. The old Broodscale, eh? Old basking Broodwalla. We fix Thoughtseize so we can take a Saga. Bro, I wish. Second copy of Thoughtseize. I just want to take Vexing Bauble. Probably. Rumble. Out of Haywire Might, got a Bauble. Frog of the psychic variety. Old Gran-Gran. I'm not going to discard the Atraxa here because I don't want to give them an opportunity to just get a Soul Guide Lantern and exile it. That would be bad for the home team. Many subs for you to get a tattoo of Psychic Frog. 500 subs. Only 500, that's light work. All right. Take a hit off a construct. Mending. Ditch both the Atraxas. They want a Soul Guide Lantern now, that's fine. I want a Mending, looking for a Prismatic Ending. Second black for anything. How close are they to Miracle? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're a little ways off. Are they on Needle main board usually? I don't think so. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back with both, right? I probably have to leave the Gran-Gran back. I don't like Gran-Gran, how she's been performing so far. She's been reasonable. Think you could have drawn like 1,000 cards if you work Riddler pre-combat with the Gran-Gran. But well, like, what am I drawing into? I can't Goryos. I could just like try to make a big frog, but I mean it's still a 3-turn clock. I'd kind of rather get this Solitude down. Like being at 5, I need to stabilize a little bit. They can just make a construct. That's right. That's fine. Okay. For Riddler. You're on the stack. Casting Faithful, Mending better. Probably better just discard the frog. No. I need life. Need to find like prismatic ending. Prismatic ending now. Okay. So I can Solitude 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13. So they have Emrakul mana. What happens if I Solituding Emrakul doesn't matter. I'm dead to constructs. Solituding Halfling doesn't matter. Do I have to Solitude Halfling and Frog draw into another Solitude and another white card? Is that my only out? Or Prismatic Ending or something? If I attack in, they just don't block, right? Anything I can do here? Wait, if they cast Emrakul, they have to tap off of one of these constructs for mana unless they hit a land? That could be an out. Or they get another Vexing Bauble. Never mind. Never mind. This is one of those matchups like I really want to board heavy, heavy, heavy down on combo. I still don't love the sideboard plan. Bring in snares. Maybe, but like I also have Clarion Conqueror that I think is just better. It depends on how much I want to cut out. Yeah, snare is probably better than force. barely. Because, like, if they have Cavern of Souls, then Snare is probably worse. Because Force can hit Blade of the Blood Chief, Vexing Bauble on turn 1. Force can hit Kozilek's Command. I'm more in favor of Force. Well, if they have Vexing Bauble, then Force is worse. If they don't have Vexing Bauble, Force is better. Doesn't look great into Flesh Trigger Broodscale, but I'm on the play, and I have interaction. So, like, being on the play with Gran-Gran is a whole lot different than being on the draw with Gran-Gran. Never mind, I'm on the draw regardless. This has got to be a one of, right? Out here, turn 1 rumbling. Warping Whale? What is this nonsense? All right, option number 1, play out Frog. Hope my opponent doesn't have Eldrazi Temple plus Kozilek's Command. Option number 2, Gran-Gran plus March the Saga. Hope my opponent doesn't have Kozilek's Command. I think I like Frog more. Like, I don't care if my opponent makes a construct here. Frog's the better long-term play. Frog's better play, but it'd be funny if they have... What are the odds of that, though? I feel like the odds are pretty bad, as they hit double Temple off of the Malevolent Rumble. Stupid Eldrazi Temple. Wrecking my plans. Is Wrath for 0 reasonable to kill Saga plus token? They have an Eldrazi Temple. So if I do that and they just Temple K command, am I winning this game? Or do I have a better chance of, like, March the Saga, discard, jump the Frog, try to find some other piece of interaction? It's probably better to attack with the... And every line sucks. If I march the saga, like if I attack with the frog, they block. March this saga. Attack with frog, they block. March this saga. Play Gran-Gran. If they don't block, maybe I hit Kozilek's command. Who block? Give me a consign to memory or Thoughtseize. Dang. Destroy saga. I know. Like, am I speaking to a brick wall here when I say if I march, if I just blow up saga land and they have Kozilek's command, they have a known Eldrazi temple, they exile my frog, and I probably just lose. Compared to trying to see an extra card or set up a line that allows me to get the saga off the board, plus improve my board presence. Like if I just play saga or march, that's all I do. That's all I get to do this turn. But maybe I can attack, find a consign to memory, and then deal with the saga an alternative route. Like it doesn't have to be Wrath. I just destroy saga. Wow. Just do the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 already. Keep Kozilek's command. Hey, look, it's the thing. Thing we warned you about. Thing I was trying to find a way to play around. Okay, so if I Solitude off of Wrath the Skies, exile this, Warp Riddler, draw 2. Maybe I could hit like Land Consign or Land Thoughtseize. Total spells with X in their costs or design mistakes change my mind. Modal spells with Kindred and Instant and 4 extraordinarily relevant modes that all target are a design mistake change my mind. All right, Ephemerate, find me an untapped blue source. Chef's Kiss, Ephemerate. Absolute Chef's Kiss, Ephemerate. Right. So we're gonna consign the search, the cast trigger. Don't care about your 3/3 Myco spawn. Yeah, finding cards is. Oh wait, sure. The thing. That's fine. Okay. I would like to Goryo's Vengeance target Atraxa. Goryo's Vengeance target Atraxa. Like to draw the magic cards, including Consign to Memory, Land, Thoughtseize. Good things. Would I rather have Thoughtseize Ephemerate, or would I rather have Thoughtseize Consign? Thoughtseize Ephemerate, Thoughtseize Consign. Probably Thoughtseize Consign, right? Are we scamming Atraxa? Like, I'm planning to scam Atraxa, but if I Thoughtseize and see, like, double Imricol, I need to have Consign. Whereas if I Ephemerate Atraxa, like, what am I looking for outside of exactly Consign that I just have here? Ephemerate gives you another chance to see Consign, but I could just have Consign. I can just have the thing. Why do I want to be greedy and try to find the thing when I can just have the thing? Also, do I even need this Atraxa? Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm gonna keep the Atraxa, but realistically, I don't even know if I need it. Because they're on a 2-turn clock with Quantum Riddler, and I could just hold up Consign for, like, anything. But looks like we got this one. Memory, just draw a new Consign off the Atraxa. I swear I'm banning all of you. Every single one of y'all. Just gone. Out of my sight. I don't want to ferry. I don't think it's worth it, but part of me wants to bring in Teferi. Now that I've seen like Warping Whale. What happens when a room full of fair Dimir players get a taste of unfair? We get greedy. This hand's definitely greedy. Got Thoughtseize into Clarion Conqueror with a Surveil. Like, doesn't lose to something like that. Draw good cards. You have Dismember in against me. That doesn't answer like Frog or Atraxa or is it Frog or Atraxa or Quantum Riddler, but happens to be ironically really good against Clarion Conqueror. I feel safe to fetch here. There's no possible way my opponent's going to play Kozilek's Command for 1 here when they could wait to try to get max value. All right. So I'm not playing out the Clarion Conqueror here. Not much of a reason to go after the Bauble either. Tapland pass. I want to set up like Clarion Conqueror plus consign Kozilek's Command into Hardcast Solitude or something. Or I could maybe Prismatic ending the Vexing Bauble. Instant sorcery, halfling, temple, Beseju, Grove. So 7 towards Emrakul. Hitting Needle name. Combo. Island. Clarion Conqueror. I can't activate my Psychic Frog anyway. They also might just pop their Vexing Bauble in response to this. You enjoy playing any combo control list? Like, do you mean, do I enjoy playing just any generic combo control deck? Or, like, do I enjoy playing combo slash control at all? Or Myco Spawn? This is just going to get an Urza Saga. I think I'm going to go ahead and take out this Vexing Bauble. I don't have to deal with that in the future. Combos that result in attrition as opposed to win, if that makes sense. I feel like if there's a combo that results in attrition instead of actually winning, it's probably not worth playing. Like, what's the point of playing a combo to go to a war of attrition when you can play a combo that just instantly wins the game, or play like good value attrition cards on their own without needing a combo? Something like a Wrath of Skies would be really good here. It's fine. If you ever played, looked at Electro Balance lists, I think that deck is extraordinarily bad, personally. We certainly got the K Command with Stirrings. The K Command, I thought seized out of their opening hand, right? Or I saw out of their opening hand. No, I didn't. Thought seized, Beseju, Stirrings, Drum Dismember, took Dismember. No, they did get K Command with Stirrings. Yeah. Reveals Kozilek's Command with Ancient Stirrings. If you have questions, wait until the end of this match. Like, I've got 4 minutes on the clock. I need to kind of focus on this, not not other decks at the moment. But they 100% have a Kozilek's Command. I know they have a Kozilek's Command. They took Kozilek's Command off of Ancient Stirrings. I am looking at reveals Kozilek's Command with Ancient Stirrings in the game log. This card is in their hand at this moment. Vast Solitude. I think I like just exile the Myco spawn because I can pending the construct token. Ancient Stirrings, number 48. Feels what? Eldrazi Temple. That does allow them to have another Kozilek's command for 3. Really like to see something that's not that. I'm telling you, like, win rates in Magic against anything Eldrazi related are just 1,000% tied to how many copies of Kozilek's command your opponent has drawn. Like clockwork. So they've got instant sorcery, enchantment land, kindred, temple, Boseiju, grove. So they are 2 mana off of Emrakul at the moment. Come on, Malevolent Rumble. Rumble one time for the boys. That's the turn back. Nothing, say go. Opponent said seems reasonable. Bower. Huh. Well, maybe if they start with a Tron land map. Oh, wait, is this through the breach, Eldrazi? Oh, man. Through the breach, Eldrazi. So we can consign to memory a Through the Breach trigger. I can consign this. Just in like a absolutely terrible spot. If I can sign that, untap with a frog, and they Whose legs command? Although. All hail the frog. I would love, 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 love to steal game one here. All right. I think I like Thoughtseize pending the talisman. See what's up, but have through the breach, Ulamog. So am I just taking the Ulamog, or am I taking the through the breach and hoping to cut them off? 2, 3, 4, 5. They can Null Drifter consign too. Maybe it's worth taking the Null Drifter. Take the Null Drifter, plan to force the through the breach. Then I would have to deal with the second through the breach anyway. Just going to take the Ulamog. Take Null Drifter, let them through the breach, and just consign the Annihilator. Well, I really want to get this second frog on board. Okay with just letting them cast a 4/4? Well, at the moment, they couldn't cast the 4/4. They hit the untapped land to be able to cast it. All right. What you got? Fixing Bauble. Fine. least they're dead next turn. Are they? Because they have a known consigned to memory. So I'm not going to get to draw off of this Atraxa if they do that. Seven, 11, 12, 13, discard, Solitude, consign. Fair enough. I figured they would do something a little more interactive, like a Kozilek's command, but stealing game one there is super, super clutch. That is fantastic for the home team. 7/7 vanillas are pretty strong. It's kind of funny how often that sentiment comes up, because every time I hear somebody talk about like Ashiok against Amulet Titan, they're like, oh, you resolve an Ashiok and the game's just over. I was always like, well, I mean, their Titan can't search, but you still just have to deal with a 7 or a 6/6 Primeval Titan. And that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. That's still a very strong line. Pointing out a Solitude. Incredible how many low-powered archetypes are supported by their ability to run Eldrazi Temple and Kozilek's command. It's a pretty nutty pairing of cards. Opponent's on 6. $209 cards found with Gran-Gran. Crap. Bit grandmother. How are there 209 cards? What on earth has Gran-Gran in the name so much? Opponent letting us get to our draw step is pretty fire. My jamming frog. Probably not. Then again, like, if they had a Kozilek's command, they probably use it on the Gran-Gran, right? What would be the argument for saving it? Not even a turn 3 stock up? Yeah, I really don't know what they kept. Gran-Gran! So now I can just, like, pass through? I don't have to tap off of interaction? clown on me anymore. I didn't clown on you. I just questioned your sanity. Completely different. I would like one of your finest gristle brands, please. One gristle father, por favor. Cool. Surgical extraction, target gristle brand. What's more likely? Are they more likely to have a Kozilek's command right here? Or are they more likely to have a counter spell? I kind of feel like a counter spell is more likely because I haven't given them a chance to counter anything. But I would like to see a list first. Search for my opponent. Rob. Ooh, they were top 8 in the super qualifier like a week and a half ago. Kozilek's command. Spell Pierce. Really not much. They can pay for Spell Pierce. I might as well just save Consign. Save Frog, or exile Frog, but I want Frog. Like, worst case scenario for me would be they have a second piece of interaction and I just have nothing after the Gristle brand. Like, I just have a Gran-Gran and a Consign to memory. Sounds like not where I want to be. What you got? Talisman, Ulamog, Vexing Bauble. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if they return Devourer, they can cast it if they hit a soul land. I want to take Talisman. I guess I could take Through the Breach out of the equation if I just take Ulamog. And we go end of turn, consign the Goryo's trigger. Hold up. Another consign. Just discard. Don't think it matters. It always matters. I'm surprised they didn't return the Devourer just to have a chance of hard casting it. Kozilek's command. Kozilek's Cano. Kozilek's could get out of here. Aw. Opponent says, good games, well played, love the content. Pig Prob, you're a friend to me. Do a Pauper Pro Tour, you'd have to do like Pauper reprint sets, like Pauper Masters or something. Probably fine. Yeah. Don't know what we're up against, but look at the rest of the challenge. Appreciate the content. Driving home from Orlando. Gonna take a nap. Heck yeah. Enjoy the nap. Option 1, Gran-Gran. Option 2, March the Ragavan. Option 3, Faithful Mending. I could go Flooded Strand, Gran-Gran. If they kill Gran-Gran, I march off the Mending, but that's probably going down a lot of resources unnecessarily. Might be better to just save this Gran-Gran for Force Pitch at this point. I'll just get got by a Blood Moon. Never mind. Return up to 3 target creature cards with total mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on each of them. I'm just going to take Discharge so they can't flip a Johnny. That's what I'm doing. Reasonable. Go ahead and Mending. Why not just take a Johnny and use Gran-Gran as bait? Would they go for Gran-Gran instead of just going for like get back a Johnny and then have the ability to flip it next turn? Kind of feels like that wouldn't be worth it for them. All right, we're relying on a Faithful Mending. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, Faithful Mending on a prayer. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa. Two, three, four, five, six. Gonna scout for survivors as seasoned pyromancer. I know, pride. If I ditch a Goryo's and a Solitude, and play out a Frog. Or I could ditch a Goryo's and Ephemerate. Yeah. Did they have another Arid Mesa? Yeah. So one of their cards is the second Arid Mesa. Scout for survivors, unknown. I'm kind of surprised that they're just not like snap scouting this Spyro here. Oh wait, no. Am I just blocking the Johnny? Block the Johnny, ditch the Solitude, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit another discharge. All right, so they've got a discharge. If that's the case, they should just kill their own cat token. Flip the Ajani. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 to deal 5 to me. Put me to 1. Spin charm. Yep. Fair enough. That would have been if I flashback Ephemerate, I draw Atraxa, or flashback Faithful Mending, I draw Atraxa Ephemerate, discard those, shock in Watery Grave. Eh. Lose. I probably have to Goryo's like during their combat. Wrath, Spell Snare. really care about. Gristlebrand, drop Gran-Gran. I'm on the play though. I might keep in 2 grandmothers. How good is Force Negation here? Better than Thoughtseize or Grandmother. Man is a little bit awkward here. But I can play around Blood Moon a bit. Well, that's a pain. Ragavan and a Johnny Bombardment. Redundant 1-drops. A little better. Ways off of that, but good card if I live long enough. Sure. I am disturbingly happy to see that occurring right now instead of something better. All right, so we've got a Goblin Bombardment and an Unknown in hand. I feel like I just want to take the opportunity to wrath away the board. See what we surveil, but the moment. I think I want to just take the opportunity to wrath away the board. Boink. Got a Goblin Bombardment. Got an Ocelot Pride. Land? Do I want to Wrath again? Wrath again's probably fine. Just take the 2 for 1. Got it. Okay. I've got a couple basics, and I've got Solitude pending. So if we find a Prismatic Ending or a March of Otherworldly Light, we're okay-ish. Of which there are 3 of those in the deck. Or Basic Island. Well, I guess Basic Island doesn't do a whole lot. It's worth scamming a Solitude to start going up in life. I kind of want to make sure I get one thing off of this Solitude. Because I just don't know if I'm going to be able to answer something else. But like now that I'm going to be discarding the hand size if I go again, it's probably worth it. But they could just have a discharge. Guarding the hand size might be an upside with Goryo's in hand. Well, if I had like a target to discard, yeah. But since I don't actually have anything to discard at the moment. I don't know why I didn't wait for the cat. It's fine, but it's fine. All right. Stuff like this. Okay. We're back to being good. We're fine. Float. Calculated indeed. But stuff like this, the creature into creature is why I would typically prefer to wait on Solitude until like actually have something I need to hit. Catching here has got to mean that they don't have Pyro Surfer, right? Because like there's no reason that you would crack all these fetches if Pyro Surfer was a card in your 75 with voice encampment out. Could have played around it. Justice. Justice. Oh my. That one. Oh man. Blood Moon me again. Dare you. I refuse to play around third copy of Blood Moon. Actually, it's free. Never mind. I thought I had another Surveil still. I forgot that I'm on Breeding Pool with Breeding Pool with the Gran-Grans in the deck. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. All right, so they could Wrath of the Skies if for whatever ungodly reason they have that in their deck. They could Wrath the Skies to get rid of my board, but then I would just have hardcast Riddler afterwards. So I think I'm okay. Forgot that card has actual the Ocelot Pride. Yeah, forgot that Ocelot Pride wasn't just 1 mana, 1/1 first strike lifelink or double all of your tokens from now until the end of time. How dare you forget such a thing? What do we think about Teferi over Consign? Forget basics. It bounces Blood Moon, bounces Rest in Peace. Obviously, good follow up to like Wrath of the Skies. Play the Gristlebrand over Consign. I don't think I want more Grave dependency. Like, my opponent's got Thraben Charm, Rest in Peace. I'd assume something like Surgical Extraction. I don't want more cards that are shut off if my graveyard's out of play. I guess Consign can hit Riddler. That's worth it. But for whatever reason, I feel like everybody I talk to regarding Goryos is either in the camp of like, you can never touch Goryos or its targets ever. End of story. You will burn in hell if you ever touch these cards. Or, yo, like, you can win with Quantum Riddler Ephemerate plenty. You don't need Goryos. And there's like zero in between. Okay, let's think. One of those versions sounds insane. Where do you stay on the subject? I'm a firm believer that you should be able to like aggressively trim Goryo's and Goryo's targets and still have an effective deck. I think if you're building your deck to not be able to pivot, you're in a lot of trouble. I want to play around Blood Moon. I really, really do. But I don't know if I can. I think I have to get a Meticulous Archive here. I'm going to have to be able to wrath this up. Decent. We do have to get a blue source. But it's like, I need to Thoughtseize here. And then either hold up Snare or go for Solitude. If I backstreet here, I just lose to Blood Moon. Oh, your hand sucks. Your hand is trash. Yeah, definitely taking the Scout. Do I want to just pending here? Like if I pending Ocelot Pride, I'll just pass. Solitude off pending if I absolutely have to. I don't think I want to put myself in a position to be like completely boned to a Goblin Bombardment off the top or like in a Johnny or something. Take a little bit of damage and I still have pending next turn. About that. Ending the guide. All right. Please don't Blood Moon me. Kept on top. Shit. Why not play basic Wrath for 1? Because I didn't want to tap off of this Spell Snare. Why not Wrath and keep Force on top for Blood Moon? Could have. All right. Want to make them use their energy before I do anything. Is there ever a world where I'm solituding off of this Atraxa and having double Ephemerate to play around Erode? I also might just like let this Erode go. Not gonna cast it. Kind of surprised they don't want to just use it here. Go for it on my upkeep. Okay. Elias Spyro or something. Thraben Charm. I guess I'd rather get the Erode out of hand now. I'm going to lose this Solitude anyway. Get the Erode, get a basic island. Makes like Quantum Riddler a good top deck. They are holding fast onto this Erode unless they're just going on my upkeep. They afraid of like third copy of Ephemerate here? Okay. Playing around the double Ephemerate very strangely. I know the second I bend this, I'm going to regret it. I just know it. Afraid of Riddler, which is reasonable. Fair. This game has a way of punishing us, doesn't it? Pain. Discard to hand size, he says. What about discard to thought seize, says I. Don't look at where this is targeting. Don't look at where this is targeting, damn it. Like, just fire it off in response. All right, they're gonna have the erode whether I do this now or later, so you get a basic off of this for free, which is kind of fun. Hey, look, there's a basic. Do I want to just take March so that they can basically never erode? $3:30 left on the clock. Well, I'm trying here. Really attack with Solitude. Okay. Can't attack with Solitude because of double first striking Riddlers. Or double first striking Ocelot Prides. Road has been cast. A response. Yes. Basic planes. Spyro Shore. Why do I want to discard Atraxa? I just have enough mana to, like, hard cast Atraxa. Got a bunch of tokens. That into play on tap for free. So I Wrath or March the Blood Moon. And Wrath the Skies for 3. I just kind of clicked at the first 4 things I could reasonably click on. Out of Ragavan. I have to put 1 more creature on the stack or on the battlefield so that I can have lethal through a removal spell. But then yield after this. Just in case they have like a Celestial Purge. I would rather take the extra 3 seconds here to play a Riddler, or 5, 10 seconds, whatever, than die to my opponent's Celestial Purging my Atraxa, and I've got to cast a spell next turn, resolve it, and then go to the next turn to have to attack. Guilt Leaf. All right. Last seen 2 days ago, Mardu Energy. Oh, God. Not this Spike Brew. We have Leyline of Abundance v. Gran-Gran. What a time to be alive. Leyline of Abundance v. Gran-Gran. I don't know if I should Solitude this. Like, it cuts him off 2 mana. I might regret it. All right, I'm definitely Solituding that. Blocking my Gran-Gran. All right. So I can't get rid of the forest. But I can pending the halfling and the bird. I guess the bird, because it has flying and I'm not countering anything anyway. I think I just want to go Delta Pass, and if they go get a Dryad Arbor, I can march the Dryad Arbor and Surveil. If they just go get a... argument for Leyline since it essentially has their mana. Well, it is a 4-drop, so I would have to give up like the pending and the march. Just got here. Is that a Gran-Gran? It is a Gran-Gran. Right. Damn you, deck! Give me an Ephemerate. One-time Ephemerate. Just make my life easy. So I just have to Solitude this Devoted Druid. Oh, wait, no, they can sack it. We're supposed to be hearing music. There's like some light music in the deep, deep background. I probably have the volume down kind of low. This deck's got so many freaking ways to combo. Such a pain. Like, if I don't get rid of this Devoted Druid, they just get back, or they Nature's Rhythm for Vizier and just kill me. And yeah, it's not just infinitely Leyline. They have 2 lethal attackers. I think the double mana enabler is simply too good. But like, I can't get rid of it until turn 3, using my entire turn to get rid of that, not dealing with anything else going on. Just for that one card and like give up all of my other interaction. I keep in one force, like a Green Suns or something. The force. Or maybe force is better than like an Atraxa and a Gorz. Like they've got solitude, or not subtlety, or solitude, endurance. They've got endurance. They have Tyvar. So this is turn 3, Ephemerate and Quantum Riddler. Turn 4, Wrath. I don't think this is good enough. Is Leyline of Abundance plus Badgermole the new Leyline Scion combo? I think Soul Cauldron out of hand here is pretty hot. Do I want to just take the strip mine opportunity here? Probably not. Really want to hit a white source to be able to ephemerate. And I think they run multiple Dryad Arbors. No fair. Okay. Man, I hate earthbending so much. Why is this a thing? Why does this get to come back if I exile it? Device Solitude, Dryad Arbor, Mortuary. Is there any benefit to doing this on their upkeep? Probably. Yeah. Like they can put counters on stuff, but is an attack, Solitude, pitch, March, Ephemerate, and hit the Cub and Dryad really good. I mean, it's fine, but like they would still have a Mortuary tapping for 2 plus a potential land next turn. I would like to do this thing. All right, do I just Surgical Soul Cauldron to get draw 2 off the Granny? I think that's worth it. Boom. Everybody say thank you, Gran-Gran. Go, Gran-Gran, go, Gran-Gran, go. Go, Gran-Gran, go, Gran-Gran, go. Also a pretty good draw. I think I'm just ditching this Solitude because I have the Ephemerate. And I think I am going to go for the Ephemerate on their turn. All right, maybe Gran-Gran is actually based. One of these days. You won't believe me at least a little bit. I'm not saying every idea I have is good, but come on. Uh Hasty Dryad into the Nature's Rhythm. Bruh, this deck is so miserable. All right. I mean, I guess they can technically make their dudes infinitely large, but they can't. Oh, wait, they can flashback Rhythm. That's right. Make them show me what the payoff is. Heck. I'll keep this. He lost round 1 to it. Dude, I can't tell you how many things I exiled out of theirs and it just like didn't matter. Brutal. son of a bitch. This is why we can't have nice things. All right, show me the Kappa. One more Kappa. One more Kappa. Show me Kappa. Big bucks, no Kappa. Emery. Okay. This could be worse for us. It's not great, but it absolutely could be worse. They can... If I like pending the opal, they would have to hit a land to hardcast the what's his name. I'm probably just dead to these drones, but... It shows I'm 1-0 still. Is it? Lying to me. This stream title right here that doesn't say 1-0. Being all in on Riddler Ephemerate, I like pinning Opal just to get cards out of hand. Well, I don't think I'm going to be, like, getting to a point where I can get cards out of hand that quickly anyway, so I think I'd just rather save the 2 pendings for the Emery and the Pinnacle Emissary. Phone told you 1-0, well, your phone is a dirty liar. Phone clearly doesn't have your best interest in hand in mind. Top deck in Solitude would be pretty great. Opponent having internet connectivity problems would also be pretty great. Pending Opal also stops turn 2 Emissary as well, as my other reason. Well, only if they miss a land drop. If they just hit the land drop, then it doesn't matter. And knowing my luck against Affinity, I can almost tell you with 100% certainty that this is going to be an Urza saga off the top for them. Show it to me. Show it to me. Third copy of Tormod script. Okay, let's think. I can just fetch a basic and Faithful Mending. Try to hit a Solitude. They're hitting me for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 next turn. I think that's my best play. No real reason to wait till their turn because I don't want them to maybe hit a. I don't want them to maybe hit a Metallic Rebuke. Can't get rid of this stupid breeding pool. And I don't want to get rid of anything. I'm going to get rid of the breeding pool. I'm going to hate myself for it, but I feel like they top decked a Metallic Rebuke. I just gut feeling in my bones feel like they top decked a Metallic Rebuke. Hopefully not, but I'm so fucking good at this. Ah. Name. Thing that does anything. Affinity Moment, Truth. Just know that it's happening. I think Young Dingo said it best when I was on the Battle Chads podcast with him, that Affinity is the deck in the format that has draws that there is just nothing you can do about. Like, you are not beating it, period, end of discussion. And that's kind of what this is. Like, pop off, billion drone tokens, pay off with the Emery. Like, there's just nothing I'm doing that matters at any point here. Ormod's Crypt for combo. Gross. Gross and disgusting, and I hate everything about it. Land Wrath does something, though. Not if you don't have Wraths in your main deck. saying something could be or could do something about it, but it's got to be something playable. Got to be something playable. Big condition. I know things were bleak there, but did you consider discarding the Frog, Fly, and blocking them tapping with Warp Riddler? They had a Pithing Needle naming Psychic Frog out. So the above mentioned line was unfortunately not available to me. Did you at least consider it? I should have considered it more. Oh, man. How in good conscience do you throw this back? You don't, right? Like, the hand just needs lands. I've got every spell I need to win the game. How bad do I get punished for it? Crypt is fine. Jar is fine. Straight for the Emery. All right. Moment of truth. Land off the top. Basically a land, right? Do I greedily force negation of preordain? I don't think so. 2 to the bottom. There is no justice in this world. None. Absolutely literal no justice. Ugh. Do I get rid of pending? I think it's get rid of pending. Try to hold up force plus frog. Target Kappa Cannoneer. I don't have to counter this one, but if I don't counter this, they can follow up with a land that I can't counter. So I have to counter this. Prismatic Endings, not doing anything. Sign. Okay. What are the odds that this Clarion Conqueror resolves? Like -17? Approximately. I hate this deck so ungodly much. I hate everything about Affinity. Yeah, you got a Kappa. Whatevs. Kappa with Hold Up Tormod's Crypt. Played this match so poorly. Well, please enlighten me. Tell me where I could have gone better. All right. I think I ephemerate the Gran and then just march the Emery. Give myself a couple chances to draw. This is 1, 2. Basically just giving myself an opportunity to like find something to do off Gran-Gran. Kind of need to be like another Clarion Conqueror into combo or something. But obviously the combo is not too present post board here. Ed, Kappa. All right. Supreme, I'm still waiting to hear the breakdown of where I went wrong. We find off of a Psychic Frog. Fair enough. Opponent last seen 3 days ago on Affinity. Dude, look at these rolls. Big dude roll to 6, control freak roll to 6, big dude roll to 6, control freak roll to 5. Can't even give me on the play versus Affinity. This hand is pretty awful. Better. Maybe they're not on Affinity. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe this is that weird, not Affinity deck. Okay. Are we pending on the Opal? Or are we Gran-Gran and try to save pending for like a weapons manufacturing? Four cards in hand. They could have kept going. So I wonder if that means they needed the Opal to be live for mana. Maybe they just have like a 1-drop in hand. I think I'm going to pending the Opal. I feel like Gran-Gran or pending is not getting good in the near future. Personally, I'm eating the Opal, not even thinking about it. I think it's worth thinking about. Because, like, if they had another artifact or two, they could have just cast it. And the fact that they didn't makes me wonder. All right. I am extremely interested in hearing how I punted this game. I didn't punt this game. Back to punting this game. Played Esper, that's it. That's the punt. Also reasonable. If I Gran-Gran first, just drawing into Goryo is actually, I guess, yeah, Gran-Gran first is reasonable. Give an extra shot at a land or potentially like draw into a Goryo's. Not the right land. So I need to find Goryos like this turn to get Gristlebrand before they can get a Tormod's Crypt. Actually, that's probably not even going to work because they can just block with a drone and sack to claws. So I can't even gain the life. All right. Tell me how I punted. Tell me how I punted. Punted by letting my opponent second Kappa into Synthesizer into a Tormod script. All right. You didn't do Affinity with Goryos? That's a good reason. That's a good reason. I'll accept that. I think the sideboard plan is reasonable. Maybe boarding out some more Gran-Grans is fine, like leaving another Atraxa and a Goryos just in case. Especially if my plan is like Wrath Disguise or Clarion Conqueror. But Gran-Gran's probably like third turn one play behind Mystical Dispute, Thoughtseize. No Wraths in the main, not respecting Affinity. I don't think we're beating Affinity very well, even with Wraths in the main. But I do know I saw RVNG playing a Supreme Verdict in the board to be kind of hot against Affinity. Tell your opponent, Metallic Rebuke these nuts, and then put a Supreme Verdict on the stack. So we've got turn one Gran-Gran to try to dig into like a Wrath Disguise. March can answer Urza Saga. The hand isn't dependent on the graveyard. Like, it doesn't feel great. It's kind of proactive. What am I mulliganing to? Thoughtseize Frog. Thoughtseize Wrath. Mystical Dispute Wrath. Dispute Clarion Conqueror. This is the fear whenever you throw back a hand that's functional, especially on Magic Online. I was playing Damn Main Zoo for a sec, deals with resolved kappas. Well, I feel like if you can reliably cast Supreme Verdict, you just go with the uncounterable one, right? How often are you going to double black on Damn versus full on Wrathing? I guess you could get like Indaltha Triome Blood Crypt or something. Definitely not going to do anything into our opponent's known copy of Metallic Rebuke. All right. Thing with him not playing Emery one, it's clear he has another one in hand 100%. Like, very, very clearly has a Metallic Rebuke in hand. It is kind of funny, though. These are like the games that I would love to know what happens if I just left in all the combo and just said, like, hey, maybe you're not going to hit Tormod's Crypt. Synthesizer. Right. I think I'm just supposed to go for this Solitude Ephemerate now. So that if I hit a land, I can Wrath with Dispute up. Specified. That's on me, deck. That's on me. Arc-bound Ravager. So if this resolves, he gets to draw 3. Here's the thing. Pinnacle Emissary is a whiff. Appa Cannoneer. Don't know. Could be a whiff, could be good. Shivan Reef depends on if he's got another copy of Metallic Rebuke. All right, I've got all of one play. Carry on. Hey. Don't do anything. You don't do anything. I surveil a Quantum Riddler to the top. Or better yet, you just go ahead and scoop the game now. Just, I can't win from here. I'm going to scoop and go to game 3. Not the same. What do I think of Gran-Gran? I could probably do better than Gran-Gran, right? But Gran-Gran also filtering. What are my better draws? Another Solitude, Quantum Riddler, Frog. I'm going to bin it. Fair. Could be interesting. Depends on if they've got another copy of Kappa Cannoneer. They have a copy of Kappa Cannoneer. No! Alright, Wrath of the Skies, March. Ironically, Gran-Gran probably would have been pretty good. Can't attack. Next 2 draw steps should be Breeding Pool Atraxa. That wouldn't be terrible. Should have fetched in response to this. Jar. My brother in Christ, please stop. All right. Wrath the Skies or bust. Clarion Conqueror into Wrath the Skies. Can't activate the abilities of my Solitude. Bruh. When will the hurting stop? I wish I knew. Yeah, sure. I don't know what my out is, but pending does absolutely nothing, right? Can't pending for 6. Pending a construct, attack with Conqueror. Yeah. What's their goofy ass list? Tribal experimental synthesizer, apparently. Destroy Saga, pending doesn't do that. Man, starting off 4-0 and then ending with Affinity is such a brutal. Yeah, or Prismatic Ending is non-land. March of Otherworldly Light is enchantment, artifact, creature. So Prismatic Ending can't hit Saga or like Dryad Arbor. I'll also say that this is why you should never put a lot of stock into the Pro Tour results. Because, like, Affinity didn't do particularly well at the Pro Tour. Doesn't matter when it comes to Magic Online. People are still going to register the deck.